The defense suggested but never proved that O'Keefe may have been killed inside this house owned by Brian and Nicole Albert and mauled by their dog Chloe. The Alberts say they only found out about John's death when Jen Mccabe, who is Nicole's sister, barged into their bedroom.
Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
She was just upset and...
The Alberts say they only found out about John's death when Jen Mccabe, who is Nicole's sister, barged into their bedroom.
She was just upset, and I immediately thought something had happened to one of her children or one of my children, because why else is she in my bedroom at 6:30 in the morning right now?
And what did she tell you?
She said, John's out front. I think John's dead out front. I said, what the are you talking about, Jen? And I'm like, who? I didn't know.
You still didn't piece it together.
I didn't understand what she was talking about, because why would John be out front of my house?
At some point between 6 and 6:30 that morning, my sister Jennifer came bursting into my bedroom. Well, she came in, my husband and I just kind of sat up in bed, and she's saying, he's out in the snow, we found him out in the snow, we don't know if he's okay. And I'm like, Jennifer, what are you talking about? She was hysterical.
And what is it that wakes you up on that morning?
I was awoken that morning to my sister-in-law, Jen, had burst into my room. She was very upset, almost hysterical.
And the dog, Chloe, was she up in the room where you had brought her up before?
Yes.
She was there overnight, is that correct?
Yes.
So I went in the front door, I opened the door, I walked up the stairs into their hallway, and then I think I knocked on their door.
Bedroom door?
Their bedroom door. And then I opened the door, I went in, and I walked over to the bed, and I was like, Brian, Nicole, because I was in a position where I felt like the world was going on around me, so much was happening, but I also was aware that I was just about to wake up two people that are sound asleep, and they're going to see me standing over their bed and be startled, wondering, what am I doing here?
So what happens?
So it took a minute or two, and then Brian woke up, and he immediately was like startled and was like, Jennifer, what's going on? What are you doing? And then I believe I tried the best I could to say what was going on. I think I said, we found John.
You don't need to describe again.
You walked into the bedroom door where Brian Albert and Nicole Albert, according to you, were sleeping. Is that right?
Yes.
So you would agree that you unexpectedly, in terms of their view, unexpectedly walked into their house basically in the middle of the night, middle of the morning.
Yes.
You indicated that when you went through their bedroom door, you sort of burst through, correct?
I opened the door. I don't know if I used the word burst.
You previously indicated that when you went through the door, it was chaotic because you were so amped up from the events. Is that right?
I don't know if I used those words.
Would you say that you were loud or quiet?
I think as I explained earlier, I was like where everything was going on around me, and I was kind of like in just a state of shock. And I remember thinking, I don't want to startle them, but I have to wake them up, because obviously when I wake them up, they're going to be panicked and think something terrible happened.
Well, why didn't you want to startle them? Something terrible had happened.
I didn't want to give them a heart attack when I woke them up. You definitely like trying to wake them up, yes.
What was the dog's reaction?
I don't recall seeing the dog.
To the dog, at least. If we can get in the mind of a dog, a relative stranger walks in the front door, climbs a set of stairs, the house is completely dark, walks into a bedroom door and starts barking. The person starts barking, get up, wake up, Brian, Nicole. And you don't remember seeing or hearing a dog at all.
Objection.
Sustained.
She said something to the effect, John is dead. She said, John's out front. I think John's dead out front. I said, what the are you talking about, Jen? And I'm like, who? I didn't know.
You still didn't piece it together.
I didn't understand what she was talking about, because why would John be out front of my house?
So massively confusing. There are police officers, EMTs on your front lawn. You're an officer. Why don't you just go outside and investigate or take a look?
I'm not a Canton police officer. I'm a Boston police officer. I was just woken up out of a cold sleep from hanging out the night before. By the time I came downstairs, the police were already in my house. John was already gone. There was nobody to save. I would have taken a bullet for John O'Keefe.
The group, which was together the night John O'Keefe died, speaking out after years of silence to set the record straight. Why speak out now after the verdict?
We took what we thought was the high road.
Right.
Let the court do its job.
The Alberts deny these allegations and say their children have been targets of threats and harassment by Karen Reed supporters.
Free Karen Reed!
Hold on, have each of you been called murderers? Like actual murderers?
Oh, yeah, on a daily basis.
There have been threats to your lives. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Whether it's phone calls, text messages, emails, crazy Unabomber type letters to people's houses.
Brian believes the targeting of witnesses in this case sets a dangerous precedent. And what's the blueprint?
The blueprint is pick out witnesses, destroy their reputations, attack them, malign them, torture their kids, torture anybody that ever knew them, make them not testify. And while doing so, taint the jury pool.
Nicole, you've been very quiet throughout the interview.
Yeah, I'm just very sad. What has happened to all of us, it's just heartbreaking.
God save the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything.